Do you like hype? Does the thrill of getting excited for the next big release leave you with a fuzzy feeling inside? Are you a fan of space, specifically the act of flying through it on a life of piracy and adventure? Do you like all of these things? Well then, you're in luck. Join us as we take a look at one of the most incredibly hyped titles in gaming history. The gigantic, confusing epic of a game that is Star Citizen. The space sim is a genre with a glorious past. Back when Elite launched in 1984, the idea of having an entire galaxy to explore with the ability to freely trade and battle as you wished was nothing short of revolutionary. The game was so successful that it became one of the first to be discussed widely on British news broadcasts. The genre exploded from there, and in 1990, Chris Roberts' company Origin Systems released Wing Commander, the next big step up the ladder. In a time when Super Mario Bros. Was still only a few years old, the idea of a game of Wing Commander's graphical complexity and scale was absolutely mind-boggling. It's from that history of games pushing the boundary of what can be done that Star Citizen was born. Chris Roberts, hungry to return to the glory days of Wing Commander, is back at the helm. With a crowd-funded budget of more than $80 million having been raised, more than many AAA titles get to play with. The goal is to create an MMO, a single-player campaign, and offer a vast variety of gameplay modes. The willingness of the fans to front up cash shows you just how unstoppable the game's hype train has become. But what is this much-awaited hyper-funded behemoth? It's a space sim, a gorgeously high-resolution, Star Wars-inspired game that gives you a galaxy to explore and welcomes you to carve your own path among the stars, just as games like Elite Dangerous have aimed to do in recent years. The difference between Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen is that Star Citizen is far more ambitious, promising a first-person shooting element of the game for hand-to-hand fighting on ships and stations, an incredible variety of vessels, and a whole single-player or co-op campaign to enjoy. The other unique asset the game has over its competitors is an almost fanatical devotion to its own universe. The adverts for new ships in Star Citizen aren't addressed to players, they're addressed to pilots, made without any sarcasm, as if they were actual car adverts in the real world. And they're pretty awesome too. This so-called in-fiction approach to releasing information about how the game will feel to play is awesome for people already excited for the release, but can be baffling to newcomers, so here's some essential info. To buy the game, you have to buy a ship. Certain packages sold on the Star Citizen site will contain digital downloads of the game, but they're sold as the Aurora or the Freelancer Max. This means that players will, for better or worse, be able to buy better, bigger ships in the game with real money. If you like games with a totally even playing field, you might want to steer clear. With a game of this scope and imagination, there's a huge amount to be excited about. For many people, Star Citizen is a total mystery, shrouded in its own fiction and language. For others, it's a way of life. Thousands, even tens of thousands of pounds invested into buying epic ships for a game not yet released. Even if the individual gameplay elements of the game prove seriously lackluster on release, you can bet there'll be one heck of a dedicated community to get involved with. So, if you're looking for the next World of Warcraft, maybe you should keep an eye on the stars.